Hi, this is Ruth at Ruth's Art Room, and I'm going to be showing you a project I made in my Dina Wakley ledger journal. And you can see the background there with all the cool writing for the ledger. And I'm using the project today as different images from Maremi's small art industrial books. I've got all four, so honestly, I don't remember which books these came out of. But here I'm just going to go ahead and apply the glue stick to the back. I mean, sometimes I'll use like the gel medium, but this is what I had close to me and it worked just fine. And then I'll be using some acrylic paint. But then I decided to put some painter's tape down the center of the book first, just to protect the pages in case any paint starts leaking down in the crevices. So this is actually a double side printer's tape, but which I use actually in my artwork for other things, but for this I'm just using it almost like a masking tape. Washi tape will work also, but I just wanted to try this. I saw Marta use this on one of her videos, so I thought I'd give it a try. I'm not sure if it's the same type of tape or not, but wanted to go ahead and put that down. All right, now I'm going to use some kind of a pale greeny color that I found matching in some of the images. So I thought it would be good just to put it right on the page, and then I'll just start blending it out with a paintbrush and kind of smooth out some of those edges. Next, I'm cutting out this industrial moth, I call it. I love the drippy drippy on the edge, on the bottom where the moth is, but I decided to cut that out, and I'm going to be making some drips later with paint on the page. I love these images so much, kind of the mixture of nature and beauty, and these kind of shabby, dilapidated buildings, but they've got modern kind of industry and stuff mixed in. It's a steampunk feel that I really, really love. I think these are my favorite books of all of hers. Of course, it just depends. I have a different mood for different days. So, but I really just think these images are brilliant. So just kind of trimming up the rest of this a little bit, refining some of the edges, and we'll see how that looks. And I think I'm going to place it in the center of the page as a focal point. And then I've got this little boy with the oxygen tank or something on his back, but he's standing there with flowers in pots. So it's just a really cool dichotomy of a feel there. So I'm going to cut around him and get him in the page as well. I've decided to use some of my distress oxides on the page using a Tim Holtz stencil. It's kind of got these old Germanic words, and I like the kind of the Gothic look to them. But I was using the wrong thing, so I'm going to use that. I don't even know what you call it. It's like I call it a scrub brush because it gets down inside the stencils a little better. So I'm kind of using this rosy pink tone that matches the colors in the wall of the image, and then also the moth. And it just gives it a nice shabby background. So I'll do that a couple more times. Alright, so now I'm going to glue down my images, and I'm still using the glue stick here. It worked just fine. So now that I've got that all glued down, I'm going to take that Distress Oxide and just put a little bit more of that pink shading around the figures, just to kind of give a little more dimension to them. I love those oxides so much, and the distress inks. I just think they're brilliant. And around the edge of the building too. Yep, just see how that brings it out just a little bit more. Just give some extra volume and layers. Now I've pulled out my Kuretake watercolors. You could really use any watercolors that you have. These are a little opaque, so I like using them for different projects. And they have really beautiful pure colors. I guess I need more water. I have to add some more, and I'm just using kind of a bigger brush to try to let them drip. And I'm trying to use the colors that are in the moth. So I've got like the forest green, and then I'm going to use some of the gold colors. Well, and also the kind of the pinky reds. I put some magenta here, and I think it's a little too bright. So let's just drip in some of the gold. I love how that looks. And then I'm going to mix in some more of a brownie sienna color in with the magenta to just kind of have more of the pinky brown tones than just a straight, the pink was too much. So I can't remember if this is burnt sienna, raw sienna. I always get it confused. Mixed in with some of the pink. So it looks fine. So I'm going to let that dry off. All right, and now I'm going to coat this with some gel medium as kind of a final step to coat it, and then that will also allow me to go back over with any pencils or markings, and they'll be able to blend better. Now, as one of the final steps, I'm going to take a Stabilo black pencil and and the lid the lead fell out. All right, sharpen it, and I'll just go around kind of lightly around some of the areas where I want some extra shadow to pop out. So just around the wings. I don't want a whole lot on this because there's a lot going on, but I do want it to stand out. And then I just have one of these watercolor brushes that are pretty convenient with the water already in them. And just see how that nicely blends. Just kind of blend out the edges. Sometimes I'll use a sepia pen like a Faber-Castell, but I wanted more of the black in this for the contrast on this page. And then I'll go around the little kid here with the funky helmet and the goggles, and just make those stand out a little bit more too. Okay, for the final step, I'm going to use diamond glaze in the goggles, and when it dries, it's going to make that glass stand out. It's my favorite thing to do with these little kids with the steampunk goggles, is to make it look like real glass. Of course, the stopper was stuck, so now that let's see what happens. I get it all over my hands, got it all over the place, and it didn't go in the right spot. So let's try that again. Yeah, I really like how that looks. All right, so we're going to let that dry, and then I'll show you how it looks after it's dried, and hopefully you'll be able to see that little bit of shine. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you soon.